loving little guy. Come give you a hug.
Yeah, I mean, he seems so sweet.
Yeah.
He's very curious.
A lot of people talk about, like, he's not engaging, and there's a lot of stuff he doesn't have for social interactions.
Yeah.
But, like, you say, hey, give me a hug. TJ, hug? Do you want to give a hug?
Ouch, the turf.
Oh, yeah, the plant is spiky. Are you okay? You gonna be okay, bud?
Are you okay?
You're okay? Okay. You're gonna look on the bridge, bud? Like, he's always looking for a good time. For sure, after that happened, I mean, he was almost not able to go to school. He was on half days the year before, and we got him on full days for 6 months. They're going to put him on half days again because of his anxiousness.
Sure.
And then he was on full days, and they actually had him on curriculum. Mm-hmm. And this is why we have lots of like little we'll
things.
do diamond puzzles. We have sticker puzzles. Because he had iPad on the trip, he didn't want to do any of the little games, and he would play a lot more games closer to the last round of stem cells we had. You know, after 9 months, he's having a little trouble having patience to work through and figure out things that he could do before. So,
okay. After you saw improvement after the first round of stem cells,
yep.
When did you see it, you know, getting worse again?
I think some of the first stuff we would have noticed would have been maybe a little moodiness in October.
Okay.
But, you know, it's like, that's a little reminiscent of something, but there was nothing bad. Mm-hmm. And then I think the first where he would have, like right now he's okay, but let's say that it's a situation where you can't do it, where he wants to eat his clothes, and so you can't do it. He'd be like real upset, I'm so angry, and shouting, and he bonks his head. Pre-stem cells, he would physically bonk his head. Now he just goes like this.
Okay.
And, you know,
is that something you taught him, or he just started doing that?
I don't know exactly where it came from, but it's the behavior he does when he's really upset. And then he'll even be like, ow, it hurts and everything. So I don't...
So he knows. So outside of the stem cells and going to school, I mean, first of all, my first question is, how is he at school? But is there anything that you do outside of stem cells as well?
So we have occupational therapists. There, people will come and help us perceive what his behaviors are, what he's trying to communicate, because it's not really clear. So you have a conversation about how he's trying to express himself, and you learn that, you know, you can't use specific statements or it'll get him upset. So you use like a declarative statement, or like, what is that over there? So he has the ability to decide what to do.
Right.
So it's kind of like a very complex communication with him. And like,
or you make it like it's his idea.
Yeah, well, we had to like change over that if it was his idea, it would be okay. And with him deciding what to do, he's generally pretty darn happy about it, and we're okay.
Yeah.
And then, like, after we got the stem cells, there were situations where you could do no and stop, wherein he's really unreconcilable if you say a no action. So if he wanted to do something, he'd be like so upset, like about as upset as his cut, but with some anger mixed in.
Does he ever get violent with you? Or your wife?
Yeah.
Sometimes?
Yeah, so like if he gets in a certain state, then he has siblings, and mom. So if he's like really, really upset, then I'm the person. So, because I'm the biggest in the family, so he'll be like, blah, blah, blah. And
he's doing a really good job.
Oh yeah, no, he's great. And so, not all the time, but it'd be 100% of the time you give him something like this, he'd get through it easily. Even at Christmas, we got him, a 200-piece Lego, and he got it together fine.
How long did that take?
I mean, I had to help him find pieces because, like, it's a lot scattered all over the table. So it was probably like a few hours. But right now, he's been building stuff, and he's he'll lose his concentration, he'll get frustrated, and he'll have to quit. That's happened within the last 2 to 3 months.
Sure.
So
And then
That's about his set
I was
point.
asking earlier, how was it at school?
So, like until Christmas, we've had 1 or 2 calls where he's like, maybe TJ sad or something. And it might be he wanted to go to a fast food place, we didn't go. And then at the end of the day, he figured out that if he's upset at school, hey, can you pick TJ up? And then we'll get McDonald's. Because when we have aid workers coming, we'll pick him up, we'll get fast food, and then we'll take him home. So he figures if we pick him up, he'll get fast food.
Okay.
So if he's like really, really got it stuck in his brain, he'll do that. But that's only maybe once or twice before Christmas. But since Christmas, I mean, sometimes probably about 3 times a month, give or take.
Test it out.
Like maybe once a week he'll have, like once every second week he'll maybe have a bad day where it's like, hey, TJ's having a bad day. We've had actual like pickups for him being upset.
And
several
you said he
times.
does half days?
So they were going to shift him to half days. As of before he got stem cells, they were going to shift him to half days. And they said you have to be able to pick him up at 50 minutes notice any time of the day. Like that's our rule for him, and maybe we'll shift him to half days. That's before the stem cells. Then we went in, got the stem cells, he's back. They're like, he's a different guy. And in fact, we've added language arts. He's doing that as opposed to, there's a specific name for it, but he has a specialized course. It's not the curriculum of his classmates. It's a really special thing. It's IRPP. It's like a personalized program. But since he came back, he's doing both math and language arts, spelling, a lot of the same, like he's grade 1, so a lot of coloring and stuff like that. He's doing all those projects. He's pretty good at like coloring and stuff like that. He goes a little fast.
How does he interact with his siblings?
So, do you know what? His moodiness been there, but he has a 3-year-old brother, and his 3-year-old brothers, they're kind of, it's like a brother thing. They're kind of almost figuring out to play with each other. So, although he has this upsetness occurring, he's kept some of his social interactions, meaning like he'll interact with his brother and he'll be patient with him. He used to, when his brother was like in his mommy's tummy, he was always watching this show called Boss Baby,
Oh, I've
where
heard
there's
of
a big
that.
brother and a little brother.
Yep.
So he had a conception of it, but we were a little nervous because he's not sure what he's doing. But after the stem cells, I mean, he's been good with them, playing well. His brother's kind of a bossy guy, so like he gets in heck more than TJ. Like he'll come up and bug TJ, and TJ will actually be pretty good.
Really? So is
Yeah.
TJ the middle child?
Yeah, so I have an oldest daughter that's turned 15 on Thursday,
Okay.
and I have a 13-year-old. She's autistic, and she has global delays, so non-toilet, non-verbal.
Okay.
So with her, we're doing everything she can, but my mother-in-law, she works with her a lot. And then TJ, he had pustular psoriasis when he was 2, so a real bad skin condition. And so that's what we're kind of focusing on, but then we noticed some stuff when he was about 3. So, and then his little brother, he's fine, but he's 3.
Okay. Have you considered stem cell therapy for your 13-year-old?
For my 13-year-old, she's in the Philippines right now. She's actually getting it.
Okay.
So my mother-in-law just takes 6-month periods where she has to go back to the Philippines to do with Canadian visa status.
Okay.
And so Athena goes with her because like they're like this. So like Athena's at her best with grandma. So she went back to the Philippines with her. When she's with grandma, we can hire full-time people to be like occupational therapists where they'll drill her with using a spoon and things like that. And we didn't have the budget till about mid last year to do the stem cells. It was some things we were working on. Like we knew about it probably 6 years ago, and we were going to do it with Athena. TJ wasn't really showing signs. But we just didn't have the budget, so we had to figure out how to get money together to afford everything. And so once we could figure out how to afford everything, we've started as of last year's. Yeah, I have
great.
super duper active kids. They're like some people are like, oh, my kids don't have much energy. That's
not the case.
No, they're up early in the morning and they're just bouncing. So
I know.
Lots of energy.
You're getting your exercise in.
Oh yeah. Trampoline, slide, like 20 different swing, like a really nice one off the trees in the backyard.
Nice.
So they keep busy. Trampoline in the living room for him.
Oh, that's awesome.
So one of the biggest things we have, probably the best thing would be a sticker puzzle. It's color by number, except you have a bunch of stickers, so you get to play those. That'll keep him occupied the most. I mean, like all kids his age, he loves YouTube.
Yeah.
And those little songs, and sometimes there's stuff and they just do gross stuff for kids. So we're like, TJ, that's gross. It's like, how do you clean dirty skin game? And it's like, no, don't do that, TJ. So super curious, and then something will shift, something will pop in his head, and then whatever the next kind of little project to go on to, or what adventure he wants to do, he'll just like go for it. So you have to like kind of keep an eye.
Sure. So when he had his first procedure, what are some of the results you initially started seeing? What are some of the signs that you saw first?
So some of the first things, he was calmer.
Okay.
And then
And when did that start? How many weeks after?
It was within a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. So whatever it was, some things calmed down right away, like right after it occurred. Almost like when you have a young child and they just say a word or something, it's like, oh, they just did that. Like there was a bunch of things like that that kind of occurred ongoing, like even into November. And honestly, there is still some excitement, but you also have moments where like, it'd be him and his little brother, and like there'd be other times where his brother would be bugging him and he'd be like, "Ugh," and he'd just look at him and be like, go away, and then he'd like turn around and walk away. And it's like, okay, so he was able to like kind of control himself even though his little brother was bugging him, right?
Yeah. Well, honestly, your timeline
because you could
makes
work with
sense.
him and do stuff.
Right. Well, it makes sense.
And right now it's difficult to do stuff with him again, so you have to be thought out. So, my wife was a little tired, so like we went up to the city and we went to a play place, and he was really upset he didn't want to go to the particular one, but it's a special one for autistic kids. So like it's like nice and safe, and you don't have to worry about him being exciting, running and bonking into another kid or something. So you're like, okay. And he didn't want to come in, and he's grumpy, and he's sitting in the car. Stay in the car. And then, I'm keeping an eye on him. My other little guy's in there playing, and he's like, okay, we'll do it. And he said the name of the play place, and then he came in. Prior to the first session, I mean, you might have lost the afternoon to him. Like, it would be, there isn't a thing you could do to make him happy. And like, literally you just give him his blanket, maybe snuggle. Hopefully sometimes he's sad, sometimes he's angry. So hopefully he gets out of his angry into his sad, and then and he'll be like kind of sitting there like when he got his cut, and he's kind of pouting or sulking or whatever you call it a little bit. An hour.
Okay.
Where he's stuck in it, like he
blankie.
transitions 20, like
so
5 times
quick.
faster, let's say.
Yeah. The blankie, is that another safe space for him? Like
His
the
red
Band-Aids are?
blankie is his snuggling blankie. Next pair of pants.
Oh
See, it would be okay, but he doesn't like wet clothing. So
no. Okay.
you
Oh,
don't
no.
get it off him, and he'll be like, oh, I don't like wet pants. And
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It takes a second to notice.
He's-
Oh wait.
he's not very shy, we'll say. So you gotta keep an eye on him.
Yeah. He's so friendly. He's so happy and excited.
No, he's super happy. Yeah.
Does he usually love water this much?
Yes, he's a pretty big fan. And then we have a bath. He'll be in there. I mean, sometimes a good 45 minutes.
So is he 3 meals a day, or is it just kind of whenever he says he's hungry?
He's getting a little more picky,
Okay.
and he's like crunchy stuff like crackers and popcorn and things like that.
Yeah.
Let's do it one.